Santa Claus is banned. Christmas trees are illegal. Carols are criminalized. In several countries around the world, celebrating Christmas is not festive. It is forbidden. From prison camps in North Korea to oil-rich Brunei, from homes raided by religious police in some of the Arab countries to classrooms in Central Asia, where even a plastic Christmas tree is outlawed, December 25th has become a political problem. So why do authoritarian states fear Christmas? And what is it about this festival that makes powerful regimes so uncomfortable? Hello and welcome. You're watching Statecraft with me, Geeta Mohan, on Christmas. Much of the world slips into celebration from the beginning of December. Streets glow with lights, homes fill with music, families gather, gifts are exchanged, and faith, religious or cultural, spills into public spaces. Christmas for billions is a time of joy. But for millions living under authoritarian rule, Christmas does not come with decorations or public cheer. It comes quietly, in whispers, behind closed doors, sometimes in fear. In these countries, Christmas is not simply a religious festival. It is viewed as a competing ideology, one that challenges the absolute authority of the state. Authoritarian systems do not merely seek obedience. They demand monopoly over loyalty, belief, identity, and even memory. Any faith, tradition, or celebration that operates outside state control is seen as a threat. And Christmas, inconveniently for these regimes, brings together all the things authoritarian powers fear most. Community without permission, belief without supervision, joy without approval. Christmas is not dangerous because of Santa Claus or Christmas trees. It is dangerous because it reminds people that meaning can exist outside the state, that hope does not come from leaders, that humility matters more than power. In authoritarian systems built on surveillance and control, that idea alone is destabilizing. Nowhere is this fear more extreme than in North Korea. In North Korea, Christianity is illegal, not restricted, not regulated, illegal. Christmas does not exist in public life. In fact, most North Koreans do not even know what Christmas is. For underground Christians in North Korea, Christmas is a secret operation. Believers gather in forests, on park benches, in homes with windows covered, or inside prison camps. They speak in whispers. Sometimes they do not speak at all. A Christmas gathering may involve two people sitting silently together for a few minutes. No singing, no decorations, no visible symbols. Discovery can mean imprisonment, torture, or execution, not just for the individual, but for their entire family. Some reports have described it as such. Women in a labor camp slipping into an outhouse. They check if anyone followed. One hums softly. Another prays quietly. That is Christmas. Last year, the regime made its priorities unmistakably clear. Kim Jong-un banned Christmas altogether and replaced it with the celebration of his grandmother Kim Jong-suk, born on Christmas Eve. Because in North Korea, even December 25th must belong to the Kim dynasty. The regime works relentlessly to ensure information about Christmas never enters the country. North Koreans know the birthdays of every Kim ruler. They do not know who Jesus Christ is. This is not accidental ignorance. It is enforced amnesia. Christmas represents a loyalty higher than the state, and that is precisely why it must be erased. From North Korea, let's move to Saudi Arabia, where Christmas is not illegal on paper but long existed in a legal and social gray zone. Traditionally, churches did not exist. Crosses were banned. Public Christian worship was forbidden. Christmas trees, decorations, and lights were once unthinkable in public view. Christian residents were technically allowed to celebrate privately, but that privacy was conditional and closely monitored. Religious police repeatedly raided private homes suspected of hosting Christmas gatherings. In 2012, more than 40 people were arrested for plotting to celebrate Christmas in a private residence. Plotting. as if gift-giving were an act of sedition. Yet it would be inaccurate to ignore the direction of change. Under Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, Saudi Arabia is gradually recalibrating how it engages with faith, culture, and its diverse population. The space for discreet celebration has widened, cautiously, deliberately, and within defined limits. For the kingdom's large Christian expatriate community, that shift is tangible. Christmas decorations now appear in international hotels and major shopping malls. Festive music plays softly in commercial spaces. Low-key celebrations are tolerated, even welcomed, as part of a broader push toward openness and global integration. While red lines remain, the contrast with the past is unmistakable. Under MBS, Saudi Arabia is signaling that controlled inclusivity rather than outright prohibition is the path forward. From Saudi Arabia to the Horn of Africa. In Somalia, Christmas is officially banned and annually reaffirmed as illegal. In 2015, Somalia's government warned citizens that Christmas celebrations were forbidden under Islamic law and posed security risks. Police and intelligence agencies were instructed to prevent any observance. Officials stated bluntly, Christmas is for Christians, Somalia is Muslim. Therefore, Christmas has no place. The reasoning mirrors earlier edicts issued by extremist group Al-Shabaab when it controlled Mogadishu, banning Christmas as part of ideological enforcement. The fear here is not celebration, it is visibility. Christmas disrupts the narrative of religious uniformity. It reminds people that diversity exists, and authoritarian systems view diversity as instability. In such environments, banning Christmas becomes a way of asserting control, not faith. It is about regulating identity, not belief. That pattern repeats in Central Asia. In Tajikistan, Christmas trees themselves became a problem. In 2015, Tajikistan's Education Ministry banned public Christmas celebrations, particularly in schools and universities. The decree outlawed festive meals, gift-giving, fireworks, and even the installation of Christmas trees, living or artificial. This was not driven by public demand. It came from a highly restrictive government that has also curtailed Islamic practices. Here, the issue is not Christianity versus Islam. It is the state versus any independent expression. Tajikistan even banned Russia's version of Father Christmas because, in authoritarian logic, Santa Claus is apparently a gateway threat. When regimes ban harmless symbols, they reveal insecurity. Power that fears decorations is power that lacks confidence. Nowhere is this more stark than in Brunei. In Brunei, celebrating Christmas openly can lead to 5 years in prison and a hefty fine. Owning a Bible can result in 9 years behind bars. Even wearing a Santa hat can land you in jail. Brunei's authorities insist these measures protect Islamic belief. Non-Muslims may celebrate privately, but only after informing the authorities. The message is clear. You may believe, but only under observation. Church leaders have removed decorations from offices to avoid suspicion. Not out of fear, they say, but caution. And that distinction matters. Fear paralyzes, caution disciplines. Across these countries, the pattern is unmistakable. Christmas is not banned because of theology. It is banned because it creates community outside state control. Christmas teaches humility over authority, faith over fear, hope beyond power. Authoritarian regimes cannot tolerate any competing source of meaning. That is why they replace Christmas with leaders' birthdays, ideological slogans, and state rituals. They demand not just obedience, but belief. There is a deep irony here. Regimes that parade military strength, surveillance systems, and absolute authority are terrified of candles, carols, and quiet prayers. Because power built on force is fragile. Despite the risks, persecuted believers continue to celebrate, quietly, secretly, defiantly. In forests, in homes, in prisons. Christmas survives not because it is permitted, but because it cannot be extinguished. So when we hear that Santa Claus is banned, we should understand what that really means. It means the state fears joy it cannot authorize, faith it cannot replace, and loyalty it cannot command. Authoritarian regimes may ban trees and carols. They may criminalize greetings and decorations. They may try to erase Christmas from public memory. But belief outlasts power, and faith endures beyond fear. And perhaps that is the ultimate contradiction authoritarian states struggle with. They command armies, police forces, surveillance networks, and propaganda machines, yet feel compelled to ban songs, trees, and greetings, because power that is truly secure does not fear celebration. Only insecurity does. History shows us this pattern again and again. Authoritarian governments do not fall because of foreign invasions alone. They erode when people stop believing the state is the ultimate source of truth, identity, and hope. That is why faith, any faith, becomes a problem. So when Christmas is banned, it is not about religion versus religion. It is about the state versus the individual, about whether power flows downward from authority or upward from belief. And in that contest, even a whispered prayer becomes an act of resistance. So as the world celebrates this December, it is worth remembering those for whom Christmas comes in whispers or not at all. Not because they choose silence, but because silence is imposed. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you for watching Statecraft.